Coming up on Impact Oversell is my thoughts on Bound for Glory 2020, and yes indeed, the great one did show up. That's right, Kenny the Candlestick returned at Impact Bound for Glory.
Welcome to Impact Oversell! Here is your host, Shuffcut, aka Shuff.
Oh, yeah, and also James Storm returned to Impact Wrestling. And of course, yes, The Rock, the true great one, did show up on the pre-show. Countdown to Glory 2 virtually, albeit to induct Kenny in the Hall of Fame, which was just fantastic to see. Let's get straight into Bound for Glory. Speaking of the pre-show, actually, Matt Striker was on commentary with Don Callis, and for the main show it reverted back to Josh Matthews and Don Callis. Matt has already joined him for the Knockouts Championship match. Anywho, the opening matchup, the X Division matchup with the X Division Championship, Rohit Raju retains the X Division Championship in brilliant fashion for Rohit Raju. I love it. I don't know, I'm just getting Jeff Jarrett heel vibes from Rohit Raju. It's crazy, I love it. TJP hit a splash off the top rope. Rohit running knee to break up that pinfall attempt. And so, lo and behold, he pins Trey and retains his X Division Championship. Wonderful. Love it. He escapes again with the X Division Championship in quite a fun match. It's one of the things from earlier in the company where the X Division Championship has been, there's been an X Division matchup as the opening card of Bound for Glory. It would be nice to see it further up because it is still a championship matchup. It would be nice to see him further up the card. There is no crowd these days to get the crowd in, to fire them up, so to speak, as what these X Division matches used to do. Love to the ending to this, love how it was portrayed. I am loving Rohit Raju's run as X Division champion, really intrigued to see where it goes next. We go backstage and we see Johnny Bravo explain to Rosemary that their wedding will take place most likely in the ring due to the Gothic Castle not being secured thanks to Fowler Burr. And they're just still portraying the fact that he's becoming this groomzilla. A couple of surprises on the Corey Shot Gauntlet were Daivari returning, Swoggle is also back, and the Cowboy James Storm is back in Impact. That was a true surprise. Was it a one-off appearance? Is he back? I guess we'll find out in due course. Heath Slater looked to injure himself early on in the matchup, which was kind of worrying. A couple of highlights from the match was Brian Myers duping Tenille Dashwood, posing for photos. He eliminates her, taking her over the top rope. James Storm, the Impact Wrestling original, was manhandling Triple XL when he came down. Happy to see Sami Callihan in this matchup, otherwise he wouldn't have actually been in any matchup at Bound for Glory, as he was just billed as being in the corner of Ken Shamrock. Hernandez didn't care about the match enough, he just wanted his money back, and it was really intriguing just for a moment when James Storm and Sami Callihan looked like they were going to team up, but then Sami Callihan eliminated James Storm, so it's clear, I think, that James Storm is a good guy, is a babyface in his return to Impact. In the end, it was Rhino going one-on-one with Sami Callihan, and Rhino wins. He secures a Call Your Shot trophy, and Heath has secured his contract in Impact Wrestling. His contract, and not the one that Scott D'Amore's proposing. So let's see where that storyline goes, especially with Heath's injury. Moose versus EC3, no referee. Is this EC3's job done? He's elevated Moose. The flashbacks, I think, added to the storytelling, and it basically ends with EC3 stating to Moose, control your narrative. Moose is just questioning EC3. Is this what he wanted? EC3 screams yes. Moose says thank you. It's a thank you for making him realise who he can be, I guess. Moose hits EC3 with the title belt, and that's it. EC3 wins this encounter. Get ready for Moose. Don't sleep on him, especially now, with this next stage of his character. Don Callis put it perfectly. A side of Moose we haven't seen, a violent and dark side. It did the job. It told the story. Is EC3 coming back to Impact? I would personally like to see him in Impact in some traditional matches, but the job here is done with Moose. Now, when I saw Moose there with the title at the end, I thought he's going to think he doesn't need this title anymore. He doesn't need the previous incarnation of the Impact Championship. Now that he's realised who he needs to be, he can just go out there, destroy people, get the actual current Impact Championship. Eddie Edwards versus Ken Shamrock. It was more of an MMA style match for a while. In the end, a single crab on Ken Shamrock, and Sami Callihan triggers the smart lighting that's still in use at the venue. Has a baseball bat in his hand, but yes, Kenny the Candlestick returned. Shamrock in the end got a belly to belly and an ankle lock on Eddie, and he tapped out. I personally could have done without the whole lights being triggered off by Sami Callihan. but then again I guess the only other way is a regular ref bump. It served its purpose. Ken Shamrock gets the win, seemingly puts his rivalry to bed now for the time being against Eddie Edwards. Are Ken Shamrock and Sami Callihan now going to focus on someone else going forward? Ethan Page with a very intense promo with Josh Alexander backstage ahead of their tag team title match. Alex Shelley was taken out by Josh Alexander before the match even began on the ramp with a pile driver. So Chris Sabin was basically flying solo for this matchup. I really enjoyed this match, and surprise surprise, the North won. Ethan Page with the belt off the skull of Carl Anderson, and Josh Alexander got the pin, and they are the new tag team champions in Impact. Now, the tag team division has been put on notice, I think. They were nearly unstoppable during their first reign as Impact tag champs. Wow, the North have regained the championships. Get ready, tag team division. You can easily see them just heading off and facing the Good Brothers now, or maybe even down the line against the Modern Machine Guns again. There's different possibilities. Really enjoy this matchup. Raw's Winning Backstage segment takes Havoc, and they're going to go and do their thing, I guess, to bring back James Mitchell from the other realm. But Johnny Bravo stating that he wears the pants in the relationship once he's married, and Rosebery will do what he wants. I think Johnny Bravo isn't aware of how marriage works. Matters reigns back in commentary for Su Yung versus Diona Parasol. Yes, Su Yung. Not sure what's happening with Kylie Ray. Hope everything works out with her. An open challenge is issued as Kylie Ray doesn't show up, and Su Yung returned. And she's the new Knockouts champion. What? So Diona kicked the referee inadvertently. It's counted into a pile driver, but there's no referee to count Su Yung the win to become Impact champion. Kimberly takes the opportunity to get into the ring with a steel chair, hits the back of Su Yung. Kimberly helps Diona up, places the chair on the arm of Su Yung, but as Diona comes off the turnbuckle, mandible claw with an intense creepy smile. I love this on Su Yung as she's applied it. Red mist to Kimber. Diona has the armbar, referee's back up, but the mandible claw counter forces Diona to break. In the end, after a waistlock and elbows, there's a stunner and a panic switch with a slow count from the injured referee, and she's become the new Impact Knockouts champion. And it was great to see also during the show that they announced the Knockouts Tag Team Championships were coming back. Good timing with all the teams we've now got in the Knockouts division. They'll be coming back at January 15th at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view. We then moved on to the main event. Rich Swann with a new look, clean shaven. I loved it during the matchup in one segment when he was absorbing Eric's punches, and he was just bring it on, Eric. Rich Swann recovered clearly and then some from his leg injury, and it was great that Eric Young was working on Rich Swann's neck as well during the matchup, as well as the ankle and the leg. There was a pile driver attempt at Eric Young, which Rich Swann countered with a pin but kicked out. Rich punches and kicks Eric right in the face for another close pinfall. Rich Swann in the end goes to the top turnbuckle, Phoenix Splash attempt, goes to the top corner, finds himself in the trio wall in the corner, and again Eric Young is working the angle. Rich in the end got a cutter off the top turnbuckle, then another in the centre of the ring, and again top rope, Phoenix Splash, and Rich Swann is a new Impact champion. And Rich Swann he even embraced the referee. I don't think we get to see that often after he won the championship bout. The locker room comes out to celebrate Rich Swann, and you just know Eric Young is going to be even more crazy, even more of a world-class maniac, that he's lost his championship. I said this during the show on Impact Oversell on Twitter, where I tweeted out that just get ready. Eric Young is going to just be a whole new level of crazy as he's lost his title. So is it a thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, thumbs up? A thumbs up from me for Bound for Glory. The main event did have a clean finish, and the second half of the show had some really good matches. Great to see all the storylines coming together, how Impact has adapted apparently with the Kylie Ray situation. Lots of intrigue going forward for the next episode at Impact. There's talk out there about it not feeling like a special show to the lack of crowd. Yes, there's virtual fans. Yes, there's small pockets of fans. Impact, in an interview with Scott D'Amore, just taking the most safe route it seems at the moment with no fans in attendance. Obviously we'd love there to be fans in attendance, but that for me doesn't take away from the fact that it's a special show. It's the biggest event of the night. The storylines going into this, the matches, coming out of Bound for Glory with new champions, with unexpected returns. It's built that intrigue now going forward for Impact Wrestling on the weekly show leading up to Hard to Kill. So I definitely did enjoy this show. It was definitely an enjoyable show. I enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to Impact Oversell on your favourite podcast app. Follow at Impact Oversell on Twitter. That's how you can also get in contact with me. And you can email feedback@impactoversell.com. Thank you so much for tuning in and have a groovy day.